Fast and firm on a partly cloudy Thursday afternoon at beautiful Belmont Park. Already day number 41, getting down to the final few weeks here at Belmont as we head to the finish line. And, of course, Saratoga Racecourse, that 40-day meet about a month away. We're glad you're settled in the meantime because we do have a lot of great racing left to come here at Belmont Park. Belmont Insider, Richard Migliore, Jason Blewitt. Quiet Thursday afternoon, Mig. But a day the stewards were very busy.
Well, we made sure the stewards weren't sleepy up there. We had to keep them on their toes. But I think some good races, some good things to talk about, some two-year-olds, a little bit of everything. And I think we're kind of in that point right before the Stars and Stripes that everybody's mind's starting to head to Saratoga.
Right, but just 9 days out from that 4th of July, Stars and Stripes, going to be a fantastic day of racing, a real international flavor day of racing. And you've got Tonalist, Coach Inge, Lady Eli, Bolo coming in for the Belmont Derby. It is an action-packed, star-studded Saturday at Belmont Park. But speaking of stars and star-studded and rock stars, American Pharoah, we hope to nail him and see him in the Midsummer Derby, the August 29th Travers. And it sounds like, Mig, the New York Horsemen are leaning towards putting $750,000 towards the Travers purse to bring it up to a cool $2 million.
Well, they recognize how important this horse can be, not just for New York racing, but the game in general. He is somebody that can, a horse that can promote this industry and's got people's attention, and it's up to us now to maximize this potential and to see him in Saratoga, right across the street from that hallowed place, the Hall of Fame and Racing Museum, and think about all the great horses that competed there. We need to see American Pharoah up there so that hundreds of thousands descend upon that tiny little town in the foothills of the Adirondacks.
It's hard to imagine what the build-up into that August 29th Travers would be like if American Pharoah was indeed running in the race. That is a town and a city custom-built for a Triple Crown winner, and we keep our fingers crossed that he winds up there, perhaps gunning for the top prize of what should be a $2 million purse on a day that features a handful of Grade 1s, and that is a card. Whether he's there or not, we hope he is. That is not to be missed.
No, not to be missed, and it won't be missed, and it'll still be a packed house without him. It just might not have the same cachet. And you think about Saratoga and the fans and the people that live in Saratoga and how much they love racing. They used to come out in droves to watch Cigar work when he was training up there in the midst of his skiing. So if they'll come out to watch Cigar, and I'm talking thousands of people to watch horse work out, what would they do if American Pharoah is training up there?
Gives me chills thinking about it. We hope to see him up there once again August 29th. Now, the 40-day meet, we're about a month away. It kicks off Friday, July 24th, and all things Saratoga, that's what that Monday annual press conference upstate was all about. And, of course, we are donating and essentially rebuilding the cottages and the dorms for the Backstretch workers. In fact, $29 million worth of improvements through 2017. You kind of see the before and the after. 5 cottages have been renovated already, and they are putting another $4.2 million worth of improvements for the Backstretch dorms and housing at Saratoga Racecourse, at all 3 tracks, in fact.
Well, and it can't come soon enough. I mean, the people that take care of these horses are up very early in the morning. They work hard all day. They are the lifeblood of the game. Without the Backstretch workers, this game would collapse. So we need to take care of them. And speaking from personal experience, I lived on the Backstretch. You want them to have the best possible conditions. I applaud it, but it can't happen quick enough.
Yeah, they got to do it pretty quick. Mike Dubb on the record at the board meeting yesterday saying things have got to be expedited. And much like American Pharoah, we hope that's the case, because when you think about it, these are men and women whose lives are dedicated to these thoroughbreds, to taking care of these horses for very little pay for the most part.
And a lot of the time they don't get the credit they deserve. They're not in the limelight. They're not making huge amounts of money. They do it from a love, a passion. And I think Michael Dubb said it best. There's not enough we can do for these people, so it's great that they have somebody like him to advocate for the best that they can possibly get on the Backstretch.
Unsung heroes of the game. Larry Colmus, in the meantime, will take us through day number 41. We were fast and firm. No quadruple carryover in the pick 6. That would have been something. Let's see what happened in the opening leg of the late double. We're on the Widener for race number 8. Group of New York breds in this allowance race.
They're off. Pegasus Red on the far outside, up and after the lead. Humboldt and Frost fires through on the inside, and Chasing the Blues came out running in third. All his number is fourth. Mr. Dooley, fifth on the far outside. Then a gap of another two back to Sir Maurice, who is running in sixth position early on, right alongside of Irish Jade, and outside of them comes Jack Sir Wild. 2 lengths more to the favorite Runaway Posy, who's fourth last at this stage of the race. Ahead of Mark My Style, Candid Desire, and Huge Asset is at the rear of the field. A 22 and 4 opening quarter mile for Humboldt and Frost, who was opened up to lead by 2 into the far turn. And then it's Pegasus Red on the outside second. Chasing the Blues is third. Mr. Dooley circling up on the outside fourth. All his number follows in fifth. 4 lengths to make up. Runaway Posse's closing now. And Runaway Posy is getting involved on the far outside. It's going to get a wide trip, but is breezing by horses in hand as they come to the top of the stretch. Here comes Runaway Posy on the far outside. And as they turn for home, Runaway Posy has easily taken the lead. Runaway Posy storms to the front, still in hand. Opening up by 5 lengths here as Mark My Style moves up into second. And then it's Pegasus Red in third, followed by All His Number and Irish Jade. But it's going to be Runaway Posy to win it clear by 4 in the end over Mark My Style. Then Pegasus Red and All His Number.
Very sharp winner. Wow, this was an impressive effort. Any way you slice it, from the number 2, the big favorite, Runaway Posy.
I mean, what do you think it was, Jay? He had improved speed. He was up closer in the game. He made that kind of bold move and just continued on. Was it the turn back to 7/8?
This is a horse that's run well on just about every turf course he's encountered and at a number of different surfaces. I do think 7 might be his best. And let's keep in mind, and not to denigrate the previous connections that had him, this was a horse, a New York-bred son of Posy, that the Wachtels saw fit to privately purchase and transfer over to Belmont, and the proof was this effort today, first time out for the Hall of Fame trainer.
Well, he put in a Hall of Fame effort, and he looked like just a different horse. I mean, physically, he looked amazing on the track, and the way he finished the deal. But he turned for home. Jose Lezcano's just sitting up there quiet like a statue, and this horse exploded through the stretch. Big performance.
Good segue into Lubash, who we'll talk about a bit later in this show. He'll be one of the stars running on the Party at the Park card. We stay with the Statebreds, however, and we backtrack. Race number 3. We got the feature out of the way early. $75,000 purse. Good group, familiar foes. These are fillies and mares with Larry Colmes.
Out well. Right alongside is Caramia Way, and outside of them, Maca and Star Grazing, and they're all right together on the lead, and right behind them is Flip Cup. Unbelievable Dream, last of them all, in 6 lengths off of Caramia Way, who's in front up the backstretch. And Star Grazing is second to the outside, a half length behind after a quarter of 23 and 2/5 seconds. Then it's Storied Lady, Maca fourth on the outside, and now progressing is Flip Cup along the rail. Flip Cup's within 4 lengths of the lead. Unbelievable Dream is 6 lengths behind to Caramia Way and Rajiv Mirage, who lead the way toward the far turn. Caramia Way by 2 from Storied Lady, who's now taken second. Star Grazing dropping back in third. Star Grazing starting to lose ground on the turn and losing third to Flip Cup now. The half was in 46 and 4. Around the far turn, Caramia Way by a length and a half over Storied Lady. And then it's Flip Cup running in third. To the outside comes Maca. Star Grazing, an Unbelievable Dream down toward the rail. Caramia Way is the one to catch as they come toward the top of the stretch. Caramia Way turns for home, 3 in front of Storied Lady, while Flip Cup comes up the rail and is now third, and they're into the stretch. And it is Caramia Way right on the rail with a 4-length lead at the 8th pole. Caramia Way in control here. On the far outside, Unbelievable Dream has rallied up into second, but Caramia Way is coming home on top. It's going to be Caramia Way to score over Unbelievable Dream. And then it was Flip Cup and Storied Lady.
We talked about the grooms and the hot walkers and some of the backstretch workers as being the backbone of the game. Here's a backbone kind of mare. She is just tough. She brings it every time and hits pretty hard. Very likable veteran in Caramia Way.
Caramia Way gets her 7th career victory and her 30th career start. The easiest kind of winner, allowed to dictate the pace on the front end under a heads-up ride by Rajiv Mirage. And this filly was long gone by the time they got to the 8th pole.
Owned and bred by Richard Greeley. She is by the late stallion, Lawyer Ron. I've liked the job Mitch Freeman, her trainer, has done with her all along. And she is a stakes quality New York bred, no doubt about that. What about the maidens, though? The potential stars of tomorrow? and, of course, the Thursday Pick 6. We will fill you in right here at Insider when we come back. Get back in the gate. Here we go, launching from, 30,000 feet? 90,000 way down below. Belmont Stakes Day, we had the parachuters out here, and that'll set us up, in fact, for Stars and Stripes Festival, Patriotic Day on the 4th of July. What could be better? The food trucks at Belmont, an international day of racing, all those graded stakes, and it just doesn't get old. No matter where your highlight from Belmont Stakes Day is from, up in the sky, along the inside rail with American Pharoah, what happened out here. It's just the best.
It's the best, and anything's more attractive to me than jumping out of a perfectly good airplane. I mean, now, if the plane was not working very well and there was a parachute, I'd take my shot, but I'm not jumping out of one that's going good. Was that guy waving goodbye, or was he throwing a kiss?
Says the guy who was riding,
horses are they're not that high up.
40 miles an hour in a tightly packed field. I'll tell you, I think you are pretty brave, man.
Yeah,
you can't downplay it. The heights. All right. I tried getting him to go near the window in my office upstairs, and he freaked out, so there's the truth.
No.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Same thing with Lightning. Can't do it.
We can do the opening leg of the Pick 6, and we'll have this main track waiting for you here tomorrow afternoon with that late start of 3 p.m. But race number 4, that's where we're going now. Larry C. will have the call. We're on the main 5 furlongs, group of New York-bred 2-year-old maidens.
Up with the sun, Stormin' Stephen, Lucky Laurie, Love That Jazz. These 4 out for the lead together. Boilermaker came out running in 5th. 4 lengths ahead of Big Band Benny, and then comes There Goes Ben, and Extinct Charm trails the field. Moving around the far turn, it is Love That Jazz in front. Lucky Laurie's a neck back in second, a length and a half clear of Stormin' Stephen, who's running in third. Boilermaker goes up on the far outside, and then it's Up with the Sun. Break up 4 more lengths back to Big Band Benny, Extinct Charm, and There Goes Ben, 22 and 3 for the quarter, and they're coming to the top of the stretch. Love That Jazz and Lucky Laurie turning for home together, and on their outside, it's Stormin' Stephen trying to come and get them at the 8th pole. Lucky Laurie in between horses now in front. Love That Jazz on the inside. On the far outside, it's Stormin' Stephen. Lucky Laurie, Stormin' Stephen. Love That Jazz on the inside. Lucky Laurie's got it close to home. Love That Jazz second. Lucky Laurie, Love That Jazz. Lucky Laurie by a neck over Love That Jazz, and then Stormin' Stephen and Extinct Charm 4th.
Good battle down to the wire. The top 3 pulled away from the others in here. And a good amount of moxie, I'd say, first time out from your first 2 finishers. The winner in this race, Lucky Laurie, and the runner-up inside, Love That Jazz.
Yeah, Love That Jazz did not let go, kept fighting for it. Nobody wanted to lose here, but the 6 Lucky Laurie from the Mark Hennig barn was bet early and bet often, like they knew they had the goods. He had to work for it, but he was the best.
Story on Twitter when the opening flash came up, and I don't think the winner of this race, who's by a freshman stallion in Girolamo, ever drifted above 8-5. The story on social media was that Lucky Laurie had breezed with some of the better older horses in Mark Hennig's barn, like Merry Meadow, who's a hard-hitting older filly and mare sprinter, and he had held his own, and there you go. We like a good story, and they got the money first time out for a trainer who doesn't crank up his firsters.
No, but Mark does a good job, and he is capable of winning with a first-time starter, a young horse. It's interesting, if you have a 2-year-old that can keep up with an older horse, and it doesn't even have to be a good older horse, they tend to be good. That was Woody Stevens' thing. He would work them with an older horse, and if a 2-year-old would work well with an older horse, he knew they were all right.
All right, good to know going forward as we head forward. And in a way, I guess, back to 1:20 p.m. It was the start of the Pick 5 with the 15% takeout, and Larry Comas gets us through the Thursday opener.
They're off. Sweet Naida and Philly Idol both out of the gate quickly. On their outside, it's Queen Katharina. Just Enough Dior is away running in 4th. The trailer is Graciously, and the leader is Philly Idol. Philly Idol heads into the turn in front by a length. Queen Katharina second, and then it's Sweet Naida third by another 2, followed by Just Enough Dior. Graciously last of the 5 and 5 lengths off of Philly Idol, who runs by a quarter in 23 and 4/5 seconds and leads it by a half a length. Queen Katharina to the outside is second, and Sweet Naida is right behind them running in third, a length and a half off the lead. 2 lengths ahead of Just Enough Dior and Graciously, who continue to race at the back. Philly Idol and Queen Katharina side by side on the lead now, as Sweet Naida is swung to the outside by Angel Cruz to come and get them after a half in 47 and 4. And there goes Sweet Naida. to take the lead on the outside. Philly Idol tries to run with her as Queen Katharina gives way, and then it's Just Enough Dior and graciously past the 16th pole, and Sweet Naida's got it. Sweet Naida pulling away at the end to win it clear over Philly Idol. And then it was Queen Katharina and Just Enough Dior.
We're always candid on the show. This was not my favorite race on the card, but congrats to the connections who landed in the right place at the right time with the 3, Sweet Naida.
Sweet Naida was the best, made a good run, shifted over slightly, and made the 6-horse Queen Katharina just slightly steady. I thought it was a bit of a frivolous claim of foul. I mean, Ruben Silvera finished 5th. And he took a shot, I guess, but I don't really see that.
I heard, and we saw Dunas Shivamango with his entourage, I heard he was the one that phoned the stewards with the objection, and you saw him looking at the board, and when the race obviously went official, he turned around and walked away. Got to check with his runner, and the dude, an underrated trainer on this circuit, but there you go, Sweet Naida with Angel Cruz getting it done in the first race. Race number 2, we continue with this parade of maidens on Belmont Insider. We'll bring on the maiden claimers in this one, running for tags of 40,000, 3 and up on the inner, sprinting 3/4.
They're off. Prima Storm did not have a good start. It's Dominic Smile who goes out to lead them early. And Burndine's on the outside. Value Boy and Prima Stormer right behind. And Summer Dancer and Alapatique at the back of the field. Up the backstretch they go. Dominic Smile in front. Burndine's on the outside running in second. The heavy favorite Prima Storm. A step slow to start his third. And racing 2 lengths off the lead just ahead of Value Boy moving for the turn. Then it's Summer Dancer and Alapatique. His last of them all. And 7 off the lead. First quarter in 22 and 4/5 seconds for Dominic Smile and Angel Arroyo, who lead the way on the far turn by 3/4 of a length. Burndine's on the outside. Second, Prima Storm rides the rail. Third by 2.5. Then Summer Dancer, Alapatique, and Value Boy plummeting to the back of the field as they come toward the top of the stretch. And it's Dominic Smile and Burndine's and Prima Storm is right behind them, with running room behind the leaders after a 45 and 4/2 mile. They're into the stretch, and it is Dominic Smile, Burndine's, and now Prima Storm swung to the far outside to try to come and get them. Dominic Smile, Burndine's, Prima Storm on the far outside. The 3 of them come down to the wire. Prima Storm just steadied there, and it's going to be Burndine's to win it. Dominic Smile second, Prima Storm finished third, and then Alapatique.
Hold all tickets. Stewards inquiry, Jock's objection coming as we have Dominic Smile in the yellow, Burndine's between in the blue, and Prima Storm at 1-5, who broke slow trying to pick them up late.
Yeah, he was coming on strong. I thought there was a lot of shifting about through the stretch. It's going to be interesting. The head-on tells the tale. It's really hard to discern on the pan shot. But I guess it's Dominic Smile on the rail.
Yep.
And the eventual winner who's disqualified, the 8, Burndine's, is right outside of him. And the 1-horse, I'm sorry, not the 1-horse, the eventual third-place finisher, Prima Storm, is coming on the outside. And I guess that was where he shifted out. I didn't know that the other horse had gotten to him quite yet.
Right.
Comes out again there. That's the one that got him. And I thought it was interesting. I thought Dominic Smile initiated that movement to the outside. But when you watch the head-on, there was always space between them. So you're allowed to take that empty space as long as you don't herd that horse out. He basically went out to him, and the other horse overreacted. Basically.
If you bet Dominic Smile, it was your lucky day because he wasn't winning this race.
No.
If Prima Storm doesn't have to steady there, maybe he just surges by everybody. But I think best-case scenario, Dominic Smile in a perfect world is most likely third. He wound up, with all due respect, backing into a win for Carlos Martin, and it was Angels Wild in the early doubles. We had Mr. Cruz in the first and Angel Arroyo aboard Dominic Smile in the second race. What else happened today? Here's races 5, 6, 7, and 9 on a warm Thursday at the Big B.
Wood Road on the outside. Pep the Champ on the far outside, and Melville now swings up outside of them as they come into the final furlong. Pep the Champ. Pep the Champ has taken the lead as they come down to the 16th pole. Love Dakota Sky is next. Birchwood Road and Melville on the far outside. But it's going to be Rod Ortiz Jr. and Pep the Champ to win it by 4. And then it was Melville, Birchwood Road, and Love Dakota Sky. Lead by 2 over Spanish Armada as they come to the 8th pole. Shake things up by 2. Spanish Armada, second, trying to close in. Then it's Belfie's Corner, and congrats to Ken. Shake Things Up is pulling away. Shake Things Up, and Joel Rosario win it on the lead the whole way by 4 lengths over Spanish Armada. Then congrats to Ken and Belfie's Corner. Behind them, and right alongside of Towering Moon as they come to the top of the stretch is Beyond Empire. And it's wide open as they turn for home. On the inside, it's Escape to the Moon. Tis Quick on the far outside. Between them, Native Hero. Good to Look is there. And then comes Beyond Empire on the outside. Tis Quick's got the lead. It's Tis Quick in front. Beyond Empire has moved up into second. And then it's Native Hero, Tis Quick, and Beyond Empire coming down to the line. Tis Quick, a half a length to the good. Beyond Empire was second. Native Hero and Escape to the Moon fourth. Saving all the ground is Harpoon, and they're into the stretch, and it is still Lead Singer. 3/4 and 1, 12 and 3. Lead Singer joined by Vince Ramos on the outside. Speeding Comet's trying to get going, and so too Harpoon, who's angling to the outside for the final 16th. Here comes Harpoon after Vince Ramos. Speeding Comet on the outside. Speeding Comet and Vince Ramos battles on these two. Speeding Comet and Vince Ramos, then a troubled Harpoon.
Eventful day on the turf at Belmont. Had the DQ of Burndines back in the second. Race number 9, we thought we might just sit down, get this show going right after the last was official. It was not meant to be, but we do have Cappy as we take the Thursday second look on MSG Plus, and there was some bumping, there was horses drifting, and keep your eye on Harpoon. He's the second gray in the picture as Vince Ramos, who's in the white cap. He will come over and just eventually, when Harpoon goes to the outside, Vince Ramos will just drift over and take his space away.
Yeah, and I think the idea was Javier Castellano wanted his horse to see the eventual winner, the one Speeding Comet. When you point your horse out to see the other horse, you got to make sure someone's not between you. You could see it was pretty drastic, basically a no-brainer. And, I mean, even to the point where if his horse had engaged and beat Speeding Comet, there was a chance he was getting DQ'd from that spot as well.
Mm-hmm.
But certainly when a horse is in between you, and I've done it. I mean, you know, you get so caught up in the fight that you want to get to that horse outside, but you got to be mindful of that there's a possibility someone's splitting you in between. And I think Harpoon might have got up.
Good effort out of Harpoon. I was just going to say that. He wheeled around very quickly, was claimed actually June 17th off Todd Pletcher at a runaway win, winning at the bottom or for $16,000, and showed some life today on the turf. His best race in quite some time. Speeding Comet, in the meantime, had Manny Franco aboard, who is not near the top of the standings, but he did pick up win number 20. In fact, he's one of the 3 guys at the bottom, tied with 20, but a couple of riders, Mig, walked away with doubles on the afternoon.
Yeah, Rajiv Mirage signaling that he's back in form, but a good group, and you see how tight it is, especially towards the bottom.
And Joel Rosario picked up 2. 9 different trainers won races today at Belmont Park. Friday preview, 3 p.m. start, a late finish, and Lubash will command plenty of respect in our featured third race as we say goodbye to the 2 claims on a quiet day in the racing office, a Friday preview, and a whole lot more, including Maggie Wolfendale, when we come back. A late start, a late ending, another Friday here in late June. It's a party at the park, 3 p.m., the opening post. We'll have some live tunes in the backyard following the races with the Sound Image Band. Some happy hour specials. Join us tomorrow afternoon at Belmont Park. And it's a Friday card as the Mig and Jason catch up with you once again on Insider, anchored by the featured third race for New York breds at 7 furlongs on the turf. Lubash, he's a good one, isn't he?
He's a good one, consistent. Over $1 million in earnings, and I'm sure a lot of trainers, when they picked up the overnight and saw him in this spot, said, wow, Christophe Comant really got over on us because he's going to take no end of beating. He's 1 for 1 at the distance, and I just think the 7 furlongs intensifies his late kick.
This will be the second career start, going 7 on the turf for the fan favorite, not a cat but a llama. Here's his last win upstate.
Yeah, and I like him going 7/8 too. I have a hard time seeing him being able to turn it around on Lubash, but one thing about not a cat but a llama, he shows up every time, and you know if Lubash stubs his toe, he's one of the horses that could take advantage of it.
Little Pletcher Johnny from the outside taking on the mighty Lubash. Race number 6 will kick off the late pick 4. 5:35 Eastern is post time. Here's Wood Day, undercard. the gray Juba, another fan favorite. He's the darling of social media. He'll look to rebound off the Westchester.
He is. I wonder, is his color? What is it about Juba? Maybe it's the name. But his Westchester wasn't good, but his 2 starts previous that were good. He gets the hot apprentice, Eric Cancel, so he gets a 5-pound break in the weights. And Jimmy Jerkins can never be counted out.
Back to Pletcher Johnny. Blame Jim coming out of the Chick Lang. He broke his maiden at first asking last July. He's pretty quick, Megan. I thought you commented while we were watching the Chick Lang, he didn't like being inside early last time.
He was stuck down inside. He was getting kicked back. He was climbing. He never got comfortable. In spite of that, he was beaten 6.5 lengths. I think he gets the blinkers on. I think that's going to help. And you know he's got speed from the post 2. Johnny's going to use it. He should be tough.
And we have got maybe our most dangerous weapon of all, Maggie Wolfendale, with the Friday preview.
Thanks, Jay. And we're here in the paddock for another Paddock Insider and looking forward to another party at the park for tomorrow's card. Race number 2 is where I'm going. And with number 2 on the trail in this maiden special weight for the fillies and mares, mount a 16th on the turf. On the trails is Shug McGahee, trainee, whom I thought was just green overall in her first race, even in the paddock, and it showed on the track as well. She lunged at the break, just didn't get off to a great start. She made up some ground, though, in the latter stages of that contest, and 2, she has the pedigree. Despite being a daughter of Bernardini, whom I don't necessarily love on the grass, to me, she struck me as a turf horse through and through. And plus, on the dam side, she has a decent pedigree for it as well. She is half to Criminologist, who won half of his starts and close to $1 million on the turf, as well as Party Now, another good turf horse for Shug McGahee. So I'm hoping On the Trail can put everything together tomorrow, as she's going to be your Paddock Insider pick. Guys, back to you.
Thank you very much, Maggie. Mig and I are about a few hundred feet off the finish line on the 3rd floor. This is high enough for us. For these guys, it's a different story. 3 p.m. post. We'll see you tomorrow.